There's a secret sitting in every hardware store today, a $2 copper coil that heats your home all winter. No electricity, no gas bill, no utility company involved. Just copper, sunlight, and a method they stopped teaching. American families paid $1,200 last winter just to keep their homes warm through the cold months. And this copper panel cost $5 to build at home. No moving parts, no wiring, no permits, no contractor needed. It heats water to 175 degrees in the sun using nothing but copper tubing and 15 minutes of daylight. The Romans used this same principle 2,000 years ago. American engineers built it into thousands of homes by the 50s. Then, in 1970, something changed and it disappeared. Almost nobody alive today has ever been taught this method exists. Welcome to the Forbidden House Vault. Subscribe and hit the bell if this knowledge matters to you. This is where we open what the energy industry locked away. The story begins not in a lab or a government research file. It begins under the stone floors of a Roman villa long ago. In the 1st century, Roman engineers built the Hippocaust system. Stone channels carried heat beneath floors and through thick walls. Entire buildings stayed warm with no open fire burning inside. No smoke, no wood, no combustion of any kind required at all. Pure radiant heat rising silently upward from the ground below. When archaeologists uncovered Pompeii in the 1800s, they found copper pipe fittings still intact beneath the ruins. 2,000 years underground with zero corrosion and zero decay. Roman armies carried this heating method across all of Europe as they built winter camps and forts in the coldest regions. By the Middle Ages, this knowledge had been completely erased, buried under centuries of coal smoke and open hearth fires. Then, in 1870, a Scottish engineer named Bousfield rebuilt the ancient method from scratch using only copper pipe. Copper moves heat at 401 watts per meter. That is the highest thermal rating of any common metal available. Nothing transfers heat through a building the way copper does. Bousfield tested his system in a Glasgow factory in the winter. Workers who had never been warm through a cold season before suddenly felt comfortable heat in every single room of the building, even with outdoor temperatures, plunging below freezing outside. The system used only hot water moving through the copper pipes. No electricity, no gas, no monthly bill arriving in the mail. By 1920, this design had arrived in the United States. Builders began using passive copper heat in homes across the country through the Northeast, the Midwest, and the growing new suburbs. Before we go further, I want to give you something valuable today. I collected everything the energy industry buried on this method inside the Forbidden House Vault, ready and waiting for you now. Copper solar panel blueprints with full dimensions and materials. Step-by-step instructions any homeowner can follow this weekend. The insulation trick that doubles the output of your copper panel. Historical records on passive systems that vanished after 70. The savings calculation showing exactly what this is worth yearly. Over 10 complete guides in one place with zero filler included. Link is in the description or scan the QR code on your screen. Stay right here. This video has only just started. In 1945, entire neighborhoods rose up in Levittown. Every home had copper radiant heat embedded in the concrete floor. Hot water moved through copper pipes in the slab day and night. The floor became a silent radiator heating every room from below. Warmth rose evenly upward, reaching every corner without any draft. No cold walls, no forced air, no dry heat blowing from above. Families in those homes paid a fraction of what neighbors paid using conventional gas and electric systems every single month. Some of those copper systems installed in 1952 are still running perfectly today without one part ever replaced. 70 years of reliable heat, zero maintenance, zero failures. If you made it here, you already know more about home heating than 99% of homeowners in this entire country. Subscribe and share with someone still paying $1,200 a year for something that should cost almost nothing to run and maintain. Everything is inside the vault right now. Link in description. The next section is the most critical part of this entire video. Here is where the numbers become impossible for anyone to deny. Copper thermal conductivity sits at 401 watts per meter per Kelvin, the highest rating of any common metal. Steel conducts heat at only 50 watts per meter per Kelvin. Plastic PEX tubing used in most new homes today conducts heat at just 0.19 watts per meter, nearly zero transfer. Copper moves heat more than 2,000 times faster than PEX. That is not a small difference. That is a different category entirely. A copper coil moves heat 1,000 times better than plastic. A $5 DIY copper panel heats a full water tank daily. Water heating is 30 to 40% of your energy bill. Remove that cost, and you have already cut your bill nearly in half. Research from heating engineers confirms that passive copper systems cut water heating costs by up to 80% every single year. The system works even when outdoor temperatures drop to 35. On cloudy days, the copper panel still generates usable heat output. So why does nobody know this works, and why is it never taught? Why did builders in 1980 stop using copper heat entirely? The answer is $300 billion per year in revenue. That is the size of the American residential energy market annually. Every gas furnace sold creates a paying customer for decades ahead. Every gas line connected means a bill arriving every single month. The energy industry does not sell warmth. It sells dependence. A passive copper solar panel eliminates that dependence completely. You cannot patent sunlight falling on copper pipe painted black. You cannot charge a meter fee for hot water rising through copper. You cannot build a service contract around a coil and a glass pane. The entire energy business model requires that you stay dependent. It requires a monthly meter, a quarterly inspection, a yearly tune-up. A $5 copper panel on your roof threatens all of that revenue. It was never going to be taught in any school or promoted anywhere. In 1972, the United States government commissioned a full report on passive solar heating for all residential homes. The study found passive copper adoption could cut national energy use by 35% across all American homes combined. That report was filed, archived, and never released to the public. 1 year later, the oil embargo of 1973 arrived. Energy prices tripled across the entire country within just weeks. The government responded by expanding natural gas pipelines outward into every new suburb being built and developed across the nation. Copper radiant systems were quietly removed from all building codes. Plastic alternatives requiring continuous energy replaced it. By 1980, copper heating had vanished from building school. No new generation of builders ever learned the method had existed. Here is what the industry hoped you would never figure out yourself. A copper solar thermal panel costs between $5 and $15. Every material needed is available at any hardware store right now. No permits required, no licensed contractor, no inspections needed. The system produces usable hot water for up to 10 months per year across most of the continental United States in normal conditions. Here is exactly how to build it yourself this coming weekend at home. Get one roll of 3/8 inch copper tubing around 20 feet. Cut one piece of 1/2 inch plywood to 24 by 24. Use flat black spray paint rated for high heat outdoor applications. Cut one piece of glass or clear acrylic to match the plywood size. Get basic push-to-fit copper connectors that require 0 soldering. Paint the entire copper coil flat black and let it fully dry first. Lay the coil in an S shape across the plywood and fix it in place. Set the glass panel over the coil with a 1/2 inch air gap below it. Mount the finished panel facing south at your local latitude angle. Connect the water inlet at the bottom and outlet at the top coil end. Run the outlet line into your water heater as a preheat supply line. The sun heats copper, copper heats your water before the heater. Your heater runs less, your gas bill drops every single month after. A homeowner in Ohio cut her gas bill by 62% last winter after installing 2 copper panels on her south-facing garage roof. A retired builder in Tennessee assembled the full system one afternoon and has not paid a complete heating bill in 3 winters since then. This knowledge did not vanish because it failed or stopped working. It vanished because it worked too well for the industry to allow it. You cannot meter sunlight. You cannot bill copper for conducting heat. And what cannot be billed will always be buried by those who bill you. This is the method they stopped teaching after 1970. This is what was removed from building codes and erased from schools. $5 of copper in one afternoon can give it back to you now. The full blueprint is inside the Forbidden House vault today. Every measurement, every connection, every efficiency tip inside. The link is in the description, or scan the QR code on your screen. This knowledge did not die. It was waiting for someone to find it. Waiting for someone to open the vault and bring it back out. If this video opened something for you, subscribe and share it now. Every single share preserves what the industry tried hard to erase. The next vault opens soon. What is inside hits even harder.